Paid administrative leave.
All right, we're recording. Let me get set down. Oh man, curtain shut. Got to get my music going. Get my headphones on, then we'll be ready to start this baby. You ready, Scott Bobby?
Bunch of Leos here. You
Yeah,
said you're
ready.
recording and they stopped talking.
That's exactly what happened. Well, Scott Bobby with the maiden voyage. All right, let me erase this. All right, y'all ready?
Ready. Stuff.
Ready.
All right. Ooh, that's loud. Hello, Sleezy back on the mic for another episode of Did You Hear Me? We have a room full of man tonight. We didn't know what the limit was, so we thought we'd fill it as full as we could with mangevity.
By my count, there's per our earlier conversation, there's only one real man actually at this
One
table.
real
of four.
man. One real man.
That is correct. We will expound on that later. Joined today, the sheriff back in the saddle.
Sheriff's back.
He thought he was fired. He thought he lost his job.
Parking spot and everything.
Had to talk him off a ledge. He was on the bridge, on the overpass, ready to jump off.
Yeah, North Avenue was in danger.
But he's back with us today. PackMan,
Man,
good to have you.
good to be back.
That's
Thank you
man
for
power.
the invitations every week.
And today, we're joined by the very first listener of Did You Hear Me? Who will forever be known as the very first listener, Scott Bobby.
Round of applause.
Glad to be here.
I don't know if you're glad. You're here though, and I appreciate it. I think you kind of got bullied into it, but we appreciate you being here.
I'm glad to be here.
He finally smiled.
He did. He's a super listener.
He is the first.
The very first. There can only be one. And Scott
I
Bobby
think he
is the
listened
one.
to it twice, 3 times maybe.
The first episode, I gotta catch up on the other 2.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
Oh,
No.
man.
Get him out of here.
The shade is real.
Good gracious. I had no idea I wouldn't have invited you. But you're here now, so I guess we'll go through with the episode. Wow, that was a bombshell.
Off the top rope.
Bombshell. I didn't know that was coming either. That one just hit me right in the forehead.
Life got busy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You know
Yeah,
what?
we
They're
need to
available
get
for-
into that.
They're available for download. I appreciate everybody listening again. I can't say thanks enough for everybody who has listened for 3 weeks in a row. Beyond my expectations. And news on the international front. Lars's neighbor has
All
tuned
right.
into the show because we had 2 German downloads
No
last
way.
week.
2 German.
Thank you,
Lars,
Lars.
Hey.
we appreciate you, Lars, getting the word out for everybody.
Lars.
I think Scott Bobby might have a legitimate excuse for being behind.
Yeah? You want to expound
Do
about
tell.
I think he can.
Are you referring to me moving?
Yeah, there you
that?
go.
That's right. Scott Bobby has moved into a castle.
That's right.
He is a pottery barn house.
And conveniently,
It is down the street from the sheriff.
conveniently, the sheriff was out of town the moving
Yes.
weekend.
Yeah, that too.
Shout out to everyone that helped me, except for the sheriff.
We're going to get into that later, Scott Bobby. Don't you worry. You're not getting off the hook on that one. But first, I want to get going with our drink of the week that Scott Bobby has brought in from
Thank you.
Village Wine and Spirits. That's our spot. I hope everybody took advantage of that discount I gave out last week. That mix and match, buy 6, get 10% off if you mentioned the podcast. I hope everybody jumped
right.
on that bandwagon. Go ahead, Scott Bobby. Tell me what you brought.
We'll show the camera.
Brought Hazy Cannon, Hazy India Pale Ale by Heavy Seas Brewing. It is from Baltimore, Maryland. I have not had this one from the brewery, but I had a couple of their other ones, and they're pretty good. So
Okay. It's a nice purple can. I've already got mine in the little sleazy koozie. So let's go ahead and pop it up and see what we got.
Ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, a little late,
Little
as always.
frothy as you open it up.
Yeah, this is 7.25. I figured it was going to be about 70.25, knowing.
Hey, somebody get Big
Scott
Brain
Bobby.
on the horn because the sheriff's going to ride home after this one. That's pretty good.
oh, it's not bad.
I like it. I don't think I've had this one before.
I can feel it.
But that's a good one. I like it.
It's hazy.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that. appreciate you bringing it in, Scott Bobby, and shout out to Village.
Cheers
Once again,
to the
3
first listener.
There we go.
My third time this weekend going there.
Cheers to Barry.
Like we said last week, I think you got an account there.
Get
You
the
just
Scott
put it
Bobby
on-
discount.
Mm-hmm.
If you're short on funds, just tell them to put it on Scott Bobby's account. It'll get you.
They do know me by name. So.
That's
No surprise.
and probably the little Scott Bobbies as well.
They do?
There you go.
Train them young.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the meat of what we're here to discuss. Sheriff, it was a rough day yesterday for the Dogs. They got a win though.
Rough day.
Got a win though.
An ugly win.
That's all that matters at the end of the day, because they don't pay you to beat Vanderbilt by more than, was it 17, 14 points, 17 points?
17.
17, even though Vegas said 31 and a half.
Yeah, so it went up. Because I sent it to you at 30 on a hook.
Well, initially it opened last week at 31 and a half. That was nowhere near.
Nowhere near it.
I didn't get to watch a lot of the game, watched highlights, and I read some, I guess, dissection of the game. Just wasn't a crisp game. Wasn't a crisp game all the way around from everything that I've looked at. You got anything there for us, Sheriff?
Our friend with the extraterrestrial head was definitely suffering a little hangover from the Kentucky game. Yeah, I just think which may pay off at the end of the year. Georgia plays to the level of their opponent, and Vanderbilt was fired up. And
They were.
If I can say
Anchored down.
they were anchored down. We were not.
Yeah. Like to your point there, I think having some close games with these young players who haven't experienced, especially the quarterback position with the ET, as we'll call them, haven't experienced, the stress of a close game and all that, not cakewalking through all these victories. It may pay off at the end. I don't know. Bye week next week, get some rest. Hopefully Brock Bowers gets healthy because he's the offense.
He is.
Yeah, so hopefully he gets healthy, and we're ready for the sweater-wearing Gators.
The Gators.
Since Sheriff was a listener last week, I think he picked up on that Gator sweater comment I made.
Absolutely, I picked up on it.
One of my favorite comments.
It's the world's largest. Well, you can't even say that anymore.
Can't say it. You canceled.
But it is the world's largest. Blankety blank blank blank.
Cocktail party. We'll say it.
I'll throw a cocktail party. That's it. If we're
Okay.
calling people extraterrestrial, we might as well go all in.
Mine as well. So yeah, that'll be a fun game in 2 weeks. Always a good time in Jacksonville. I'll be looking forward to that. The other team that you were bullish on, the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, my
Dan Lanning.
my text thread of integrity was very sad this week.
Yeah, Dan Lanning took a lot of chances, and they did not turn out well for him. Former Georgia guy, Dan Lanning, always love him.
Yeah, I ended up watching that 3:30 game at about 10:30. Thank you to the DVR, and
Yeah.
it was a good back and forth game. Not the result I needed or wanted.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I want to bring that up. Scott Bobby and PackMan, we're well aware that the sheriff is a big DVR guy. We were at the softball field last week, and the sheriff became irate that people had the audacity. Shout out to Riley, her favorite word. Audacity to watch the Braves game live while he was playing softball, ruining his DVR experience later on. He was livid.
Sleazy calmed me down quickly. Said I should expect that in the state that the team plays in, an hour and 20 minutes away.
My question to you guys is there any level of respect you should have for somebody's DVR game? For something going on.
For live sports, no. I don't think so. No, if it's... Yeah, sorry, Sheriff.
My feelings are hurt.
Yeah,
I agree with PackMan.
Live sports is live sport. I mean, once it's not live anymore, it's open. Spoiler.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't mad about the setup. I was impressed with this. We had a radio going through like an outdoor speaker, and then we had they zip tied a tablet to a dugout fence.
A screen, if you will.
A screen. But yeah, it's more the hatred of commercials that trumps everything else.
I got you, but
if that makes sense to our listeners.
You're coming off as this calm, diplomatic guy. That's like, I understand. I think I could go back through my text messages between me and the sheriff over the past year. that I've texted him about something going on in the game, and I've gotten a terse response about I've got it DVR.
A terse, not a curse.
A terse response about how he has it DVR'd, hadn't watched it yet, and AKA shut your mouth. Stop telling me what's going on.
No, I need to be better at that, or just shut my phone off.
I may have ruined the Patriots game for him a couple weeks ago.
I think it's
intentionally.
I think all our listeners need to take this as something to really under the skin of the sheriff. So watching a live event, make sure you update the sheriff on what's going on.
Blow them up, play by play.
I am a little hypocritical on that because we have a certain non-listener, big Alabama Crimson Tide fan, and I update him every time there's a scoring change.
Oh, good. Hopefully
He got a
don't
shout
interrupt
out.
his study.
Excuse?
No, there you go. Shout out. I hope you update him all the time.
Oh, I'm updating them, so I got to take it on the shins myself. Obviously, I think that's what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying. I think your DVR game is a risky one to play if
Fair
you're
point.
expected to be surprised. Although I will say, in the last comment on the DVR, the sheriff was excited about a play he was watching on a baseball game the other day, which we'll get into here next. And I was like, Sheriff, that happened 4 days ago. And he said, I thought this was live. It was a 4-day-old game.
That was not DVR. That was a replay.
Okay, all right. It wasn't DVR, but he thought he was.
But same idea. It
thought
was
he
not
He
live.
thought he was living in the moment 4 days
I
after
was in it.
I didn't realize people still DVR'd. I thought you could just go back and watch stuff like with all the.
Yep.
Yeah, YouTube TV. Shout out. You can just put the check on it,
Hey, there you go.
and it sends it to your library. I guess that's the same idea, but
That's real technical talk there from the sheriff.
let me take it on the shins.
That's all right.
I need to watch live sports live.
Hey, you're a grown man and the only fertile man at this table, so you
that's
can do
it.
whatever you want to.
Yeah, who are we to tell you?
That's right.
We're not even active.
Civilization is on my shoulders here at this table.
What a burden to carry. The human race is
That's
in
why
the hands of the
I
sheriff.
don't have time for live TV. That's why.
I got you. Well, you do have a clan that you have created, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So going into baseball.
Oh boy.
Yeah, with nobody at this table has a team left. Rough week. No excuses. I told the guys offline before the show, I'm not protecting the Braves anymore. I'm going after them.
Unload.
And very disappointed in their performance in the postseason. And I think it has a direct effect with the lack of facial hair that these boys are playing with. The Phillies come in with some raggedy beards, some long hair, an edge.
Little homeless look to them.
Yeah, the Braves come in clean cut. I don't know if they can grow a beard. Matt Olson, can he grow a beard?
No.
I haven't seen him.
He looks like he could be my accountant. Yeah, Sean Murphy. Don't think he has blonde hair. I don't think blonde people can grow beards.
Not good ones.
Yeah, Ozzie Albies. I love him. I don't think he can grow a full beard. He's got patches. Acuna, baby face. I think the only man we have in the starting 9 is Michael Harris.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Local product
He can grow a beard, but
with a beard. Never seen him without one.
He's the only one with an extra tendon of all those people you name.
But I would be remiss if I did not mention the, as I call him, the Amish Dominican. I'm Ozuna for the Braves. He's got the Amish beard.
Ozuna, you got plenty of time for the
That's
hazy
right.
cannon.
Yep.
Yeah, but Rosario and Arcia, they've got lines cutting their eyebrows. What's up with that?
Very flamboyant.
Yeah, and Austin Riley, my wife's favorite guy, no beard. So I think they lack a facial hair. Strider tried to grow a beard.
Yeah, so you're saying there's like a hockey, there should be like a hockey flair to the
I think their lack of facial hair,
baseball.
as I look around the table of men here, all with
Beautiful
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 facial hair.
beards.
Even Scott Bobby has joined the game. When did you start joining the game of beard hair?
That was last year, I think. About this time last year.
Yeah.
I
Had to chip away at him a little bit.
Yeah,
just got kind of lazy and started letting it grow out, and then
and realized.
Demanda said she liked it, so we kept it around.
There you go.
Shout out.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's coming off the top rope with this episode.
Yeah. Well, if Demanda likes it, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
I shaved it, and she said, "You need to grow that back."
Hey, Scott Bobby.
Yeah.
Come out with just the beard on, please.
Good gracious. All right.
I've had a week off, so look out.
I'm joking around about the beards, but I think it plays into the larger effect that the Braves did not have an edge in the series. They lost against the Phillies. The Phillies played with a reckless abandon.
Totally agree with that.
Stealing bases, taking extra bases as they were running around. They got thrown out a couple of times, but they just kept coming, and the Braves looked scared. The batters did. I really can't complain too much about the pitching except for Game 3 with Bryce Elder and that, tragedy.
Pun intended.
Yeah, but Strider, 3 runs in both games. If you can't score more than 3 runs, I mean, what are you going to do? I don't blame Strider at all.
Yeah, he was a victim of circumstance. I don't necessarily think I think that's the best fastball I've seen him have in a while, but everything else kind of betrayed him. And then, like you said, credit to the Phillies. They were aggressive. They made adjustments.
Yep.
And I don't like to be right when it comes to the hometown team, but no, 2 home runs in one game and none in the others.
That's correct.
And that was the only game they won on a base running blunder, to your point. And our shout out Jeff Francoeur said the Braves had 219 balls hit at an exit velocity of 100 plus miles an hour, or maybe 101. They had 5 in this entire 4-game series. So
way to go, Frenchie, with the stat.
he left us with that one, and that's maybe the only way I remembered it.
That's pretty good. He owns a blueberry farm.
Wow, that might be a theme here.
Just one.
Is this a
Terrapin
blueberry
made a
thing?
beer with it.
You're correct.
Just a blueberry colored can.
As Scott Bobby just pointed out. Go ahead, say that again. We were talking over you.
Craig. Terrapin made a beer with it.
What?
Yeah.
Frenchie's Blues or something.
That's right, and he was unashamedly promoting it on all the Braves telecasts there for a while. You ever had one?
Yeah, I have. It's all right.
Didn't take stand for beer.
Nope.
Did you get it at Village?
I think I had it at the brewery. It was like a sour. Wasn't not my thing.
Sour
Oh, it's a
mash.
sour because they had the blueberries in it.
Yeah, it's like more like what
Is
PackMan likes.
Man, that'd be right up my alley.
But apparently he had to get this blueberry farm because his insider information here.
Come on with it.
His father-in-law is some blueberry scientist or something, and wanted this blueberry farm to do, I don't know, his scientist things.
Oh my God.
So, Frenchie played 13 years in MLB. He had a little cash stacked to the side.
Yeah.
And now he's the face of like Georgia Southern Power or something. I don't know. He does a bunch of weird commercials. I'm not a huge fan of Frenchie. I don't mind him, but he's reminds me of a frat boy that fell into the right position.
He was on the call. That's all I know.
But you know what? I don't have a beer, so shout out to Francoeur.
Shout
There you
out.
go. There you go.
Parkview's finest.
None of us have made
Not
it.
Parkview Home.
Oh,
Parkview High School, that is. I know PackMan's eyes lit up as the local
I got excited.
Home.
I got excited.
That's it. Straight off of West Broad
That's
Street.
right.
There you go. One of the
He is not from West Broad.
no, he's not, but his eyes lit up. But no, Parkview High School. That's where he went. So anyway, shout out to him. We gave him a big plug. Go check out his blueberry beer. Scott Bobby said,
Non-listener.
yeah. Hey, you know what? If Frenchie
Shoot
wants to
another
come
beer
on and
down.
tell us it's better than we
That's
think,
it.
then we'll let him on. All
Come
right.
on, Frenchie.
So I want to give the sheriff a few minutes because, much to the chagrin of Big Brain, he left his wife and children high and dry and went to Vegas for a week.
Appreciate it.
Yep, I just put it out there. She didn't mind at all. She didn't make any comments about it.
She did mind.
Maybe for a few minutes she didn't. But go ahead and tell us about your softball tournament.
Now, the Sleezy clan and all the rest of the members of the Fishbowl were keeping her company while I was away. This trip to Vegas, which there's not much to do in Vegas for a married man, father of 4, but we did
with
stay
a couple on ice.
with a couple. Oh boy, maybe hopefully just one. But Big Brain was definitely very ticked off that I left for a week. But that was the cheapest flight that I did not pay for.
Yeah.
But it was.
That's what you get to do when you're a fertile man. Whatever
That's
you
it.
want to.
Whatever you want.
just keeping civilization moving. But it was the Leo's softball tournament. And
Is that your astrological sign?
It is not.
Okay.
But it's an acronym for who was all playing out there. But there was approximately 70 teams.
Ooh.
So you're talking about somewhere probably between 7,500 and 8,000 Leos. And again, not the sign, but maybe a career or a profession. And it was the time at the field and the time with the guys was fun. We stayed on Fremont Street in old downtown, so
that's a show in itself.
Yes, the vagrant population was they did kind of look like the Philadelphia Phillies, but they entertained.
Well, now that you set the scene, how did your team do?
We went 2-3. So we started the tournament with the #1 team in the land out of Los Angeles, and lost a close game, a lot of errors on each side, and then won 2 games, faced the same LAPD #1 team, Los Angeles team, and lost again to start the double elimination, and then the Sacramento Razorbacks, who are familiar with Woo Pig Suey from this part of the country. They scored almost 40 runs, couldn't miss, and so we were gone.
Okay. What was your batting average, you think?
No idea.
Any home runs?
I did take a cup check minus the cup.
Ooh, I did hear about that.
Civilization was in grave danger.
They held their breath.
But
where were you at when you took the cup check?
Third base, a little top spin ground ball that didn't bounce as high. It had expert aim.
I thought your voice was a little higher this week.
It is.
I thought it was deep.
Even on the new mics, it's a little high. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. It is for folks that are not doing a girls' game. Shout out you and Pack. Not doing it for a living. That LA team has several guys that at least made it to the major leagues, and it's a pretty high level of competition. But it's still just a beer at every base, if you will, your typical slow pitch softball environment. Free beer Friday.
There you go.
Which is where our Winnipeg friend comes into the story, but
yeah,
I'll quit talking.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. I saw a picture of you in a men's room posing with a what is it?
He's a City of Winnipeg Leo in the honor guard. I did not get his name, but our coach decided it was a fabulous idea after we had played 4 or 5 games to get us to the field 4 or 5 hours early and on Free Beer Friday. So you can imagine I was coming up with a lot of really good ideas at that point, and there's an honor guard for the states, and then there's an honor guard for Canada, just based on where all the teams are from. And I just thought it was a pretty cool thing. Not the greatest setting.
Yeah, you know.
And there was some liquid courage going on for everyone, but yeah, I don't know the next time I'm going to meet a Leo from Winnipeg.
So how many teams? You have some teams from Canada, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would say less than 10, and then like I said, probably 65-ish from the states.
That's really cool. You're a part of that. I will say, I probably would have waited to fanboy with the Winnipeg guy outside of the men's room, but you took advantage of it, and I'm proud of you.
They were changing for a game. They were lower division.
Wait a minute.
Even better.
You walked in on the poor man changing.
I caught him in a moment of weakness, and I was feeling very patriotic, very proud of my profession.
How many home runs did you hit, Craig?
Enough.
You were bragging in the text group.
That's enough about me.
You had a 700 batting average and 10 home runs.
Thank you, Scott Bobby, for filling us in.
Tell him to throw some shade at me.
Being bashful here.
I am very out of shape. I am probably 60 pounds over when I actually played a real game. But
and just so everybody knows, he's a collegiate baseball player.
I was. Ooh, nice. Scott Bobby.
What was your college?
Shout out Southern Wesleyan University.
There you go. Shout out to them. I don't think we had enough time to get into how you ended up from the...
No, I've already talked too much.
No, it's fine. But one day we'll get into that. How you ended up from the hills of Massachusetts.
The hazy cannon would have had to been smart.
Yeah.
This is as well as any type of female encounters had to be incognito at Southern Wesleyan.
Oh, I got you. Religious, right?
Yeah, it's a Wesleyan school.
Gotcha. We'll get into that
With a
later.
lot of rules.
But thanks for telling us about that. It is interesting that you get to go out. You're good enough, because I never get called, to go to Vegas to play a girls' game.
I don't want to interrupt you.
No,
I've been
you're
told not to interrupt by the powers that be, but I've invited everyone at this table to a tournament because I don't, even if you didn't play, if you enjoy an adult beverage or a social drink, it's still a really good time.
Yeah, but the problem is they wouldn't pay for my
Correct.
ticket like they'd pay for yours.
You would have to check with a special agent on that one.
I
I
would.
still have to check with Big Brain, even though everything but
Even though
food
she
is
says
covered.
no and you go
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what it sounds like.
Well, we'll save that for another episode as well.
All right, yeah.
Enough about me. We have a special guest here.
That's
We
right.
do.
Let's
We
not
do.
forget.
So let's. I want to get into. We got several listener questions this week. I want to start getting into those because we got quite a few and some interesting ones.
Yeah,
PackMan, you want to lead us off?
I will. I'll start us off. I got a handful. I'll just go ahead and take care of this one. One of them from Instagram user Layla B. Schuler wants to know.
I know her.
Yeah. What are you gonna be for Halloween? So I'll take care of this one.
It's a touchy subject though because just so the listeners know, we have a party every year, and so I don't know. Do we want to reveal?
Absolutely.
No, we can't reveal. I'll tell you what.
Okay, go ahead, Pack.
You got something cooking, right? For Halloween episode, maybe we can.
Yeah, we're trying to get something up and get a little mobile. We've got hopefully everybody can tell the difference this week. We got some new mics that I'm hoping is going to sound better.
Yeah.
So that everybody's first comment is not how terrible the audio is every week.
Speaking of Halloween, we'll have to send that out on the gram.
The
That's
sheriff.
what the Turners will be dressed as.
The sheriff has just shared a photo with the table of men
I think Scott Bobby's already seen it.
of him and his family. I don't know the character's name. I know
That
what
would
movie
be
it's from.
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Shout out from the movie It. I think
Yes,
there's like
all
several of them.
4 children, big brain, and most importantly, the sheriff in makeup.
I wanted to get a... I didn't
Going
mean-
on the gram.
I
You gotta
didn't-
put it on the
I did
gram.
not mean to interrupt Pack, but I wanted
No.
to get a natural reaction to that from everyone at the table.
One of the creepier photos I've ever seen before, and he looks thrilled.
I am not thrilled,
He looks.
but I want to give Pack the floor. I just want to get a natural reaction to that because Scott
That's-
Bobby is the only one that had
No,
a
that's
heads up.
good. That's good. We'll have to show the people. They want to
Yeah,
see that.
People
So
want to see.
I think maybe don't reveal what we're wearing this year
I got
because might have a surprise, but maybe we can go over
Yeah.
what you were thinking about or what you've been in the past years. Because there's been some good ones.
there's been some good
the
ones.
Pack family is.
Doc Lolliday
Yes.
last year, I think, tops everything. She was
Went all in.
all in. Post Malone.
Doc
And-
Holiday.
And she was Post Malone. You wouldn't tell the difference. She had
Facial hair. And
facial
everything.
hair and everything.
Face
Had,
tattoos.
had to shave my body for her to glue the hair to her face for her costume.
Shout out. Doc Holiday.
Yeah, it's a
She
very
went
good
all
costume.
in.
All in. But we won't harp on it too long. Stay tuned. We'll have some special Halloween
The
stuff.
whole body.
And
I
last year, Pac-Man was Nelly.
Nelly,
Pulled it off.
Hot and Her. Yeah,
right.
how about Air Force Ones? Yep.
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 The hip hop theme for Team Pack.
A couple of years ago, he knocked out Rick James. He was a good one.
For James.
Yep, there you go.
Kid show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kid show.
Uh,
Won't say
That was a
it.
good one. In years past, I've been the special agent, and I went as the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Miss Elizabeth.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. I went all in carried even sent out a hype video beforehand. And then last year we were one of the most beloved couples in
Mm.
TV sitcom recent history. We were Rip
Oh yeah.
from Yellowstone.
Not Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, but
No, but maybe who knows about this
Oh,
year?
good
Who
idea,
knows?
good
Rip
idea.
and Beth, but we
Yeah.
pulled it off.
Yeah, Beth
Special
and
agent
Rick,
went all
yeah.
in, made herself in a black eye from a specific episode, and had
shout out.
a nice dress on, and I pulled it off with my cowboy hat. Anyways, stand by for the
Yep. Stand by for Halloween 2023.
You got
2
some
weeks.
previous costumes
I
there?
don't even remember what it was last year.
Boy.
You don't remember much from the Halloween party last
must
year.
have been 7.25 going off over here.
Jack Daniels.
He was there.
He was there. He was
Yes, we
there.
can confirm he was there. And one year, I think he was a wrestler. That was before I even moved here
Okay.
to the Classic City.
There.
But Scott Bob is the life of the party.
Oh, no
Just may
doubt.
not remember the party.
Hey, that means he's having a good time. So, go ahead, Charles. I mean, PackMan.
Next question. And this will be quick. You already kind of touched on it. This one is from Instagram user Hunter B underscore
Gambler.
87.
The Gambler, who future guest next week. Spoiler alert.
That's right. Spoiler alert. Stay tuned.
Hot news.
And maybe our last episode.
That'd be
Don't get
episode 5, though,
don't
isn't
get
it?
him canceled,
Yeah,
Gambler. Don't
come
get him
on, Hunter.
canceled.
He's already 1 for 1 on canceling podcasts. So.
We're gonna have to.
He says, let's hear about how the Braves have zero killer instinct in the playoffs. They look scared. I'm assuming he meant to say they look scared.
Oh, he was probably quivering when he was typing that. With that
So,
left-handed justice.
So,
Yeah,
Sleazy already touched on
we
that.
already touched on
They
that.
don't have beards.
No
Enough said.
beards.
No beards. If they grew some beards, they'd have some killer
Direct
instinct.
symptom of killer instinct is a
You
beard.
know, I'm just devastated. Another year early exit. That's what I'll end on.
To
that
the
one.
Phillies, too.
Yeah, to the Phillies again.
Yep.
You know, they just keep laughing at us like, yeah, when you're.
Oh, Amber alert.
Yeah.
Amber alert. Check your phones, audience. Check
How are
your
we don't?
phones.
Is that a South Carolina Amber Alert?
Nah, that's a Columbus, Georgia. But
Because nobody else got it except for the sheriff. So.
won't put the license plate out there.
There you go.
But
Android
did y'all
phone.
see that? I had an alert on my phone that several men of the Amish community were reprimanded from said community because that FEMA.
Oh, I did hear about
warning,
this.
yeah, they were outed on hiding phones.
I did
And
hear
I
about
thought
this.
that was one of the greatest news headlines. I'm chasing rabbit, sorry, but that the
Yeah.
national emergency that was
he's
outside of
yeah.
South Carolina.
He's
everywhere.
referring to the national emergency tone that
Mm-hmm.
99% of America got at
Thank
whatever day it was. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories that we won't get into because we'll be talking about it for hours. About why this alert went off nationwide at this particular time. So, anyways, moving forward.
Moving forward. Let you start off with this one, Sheriff. Is NIL, name, image, likeness, for those that are unfamiliar,
Good question.
is NIL having a positive or negative impact on college football and why?
And who's that from?
Oh, my apologies. This
The
comes
man.
from Instagram user Rye Kayak Guy. A repeat asker.
Granddaddy.
Doesn't have time to listen to the episodes, he
He's
says.
got a lot of questions for somebody who doesn't listen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Come
So,
on, Granddaddy.
yeah. Gray hair's working out. Wants to know, is
Okay,
NIL
Pack,
having a
put me on the
positive
spot.
or negative impact? What you think, Sheriff?
I think our friend with the ayahuasca, as you call it, or as some people may call ayahuasca on
Ayuska.
the ayahuasca. Thank you, Pat. Aaron Rodgers called it. Shout out. Called it. College is the NFL without free agency. So I'm not trying to read his mind, but I think he was kind of saying it. Nobody knows what it is right now. I think, but I think it will eventually be negative. Because that was. Thank you for reminding me, Rye, the kayak guy. The Georgia and a lot of these big schools where they may or may have always been getting some benefits, wink wink, but now it's out in the open. They look a little sleepy when it's not a big time game or playoffs, and I'm interested to see what the 12-team playoff will be like, because then not every game may matter, if that makes sense. You may be able to lose one or two and still get in, but yeah, I don't know. Remains to be seen, but I don't like it because I think the kids are kind of getting spoiled.
Yeah, I would.
But I'm like the old man. I'm definitely an old man, get off my grass type sports person, where I don't like the electronic strike zone in the minor leagues. I don't like the pitch clock, or football, the NIL, whatever. So you're giving these kids trucks.
Yeah.
I think the Utah Utes got on their off day 84 trucks from Dodge.
Good gracious.
Always Dodge.
Yeah.
Complacency can definitely creep in.
Yeah, I think it affects these young guys a lot more than people let on. being that rich that young. I don't knock anybody for making money off what
Absolutely.
they do. I think that's a good thing. I think the unregulated Wild West that it is right now is dangerous. As it is right now, I think they should be able to make money